My name is Jeff Morgan. I am from Dallas, Texas. I want to speak on a decision that was rendered by this esteemed, august committee called the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. And before the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, CJC number 17-1572, this is a public warning that was issued to a judge, the Honorable Dianne Hensley, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 1, out of Waco, Texas, McLennan County, Waco, Texas. Now here's what this august, robust body had decided against Judge Dianne Hensley. During its meeting on October the 9th, 2019, the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, concluded a review of the allegations against the Honorable Dianne Hensley, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 1, Waco, McLennan County, Texas. Judge Hensley was advised by letter of the Commission's concerns and provided written responses. Judge Hensley appeared with counsel before the Commission on August the 8th, 2019, and gave testimony. After considering the evidence before it, the Commission enters the following findings and conclusions. Now this will be very interesting to follow because the Commission has now issued its findings and its conclusions. Its conclusions will not be in accordance with the State Constitution of Texas, nor will it be in accordance with the Religious Freedom Restoration Act of 1993 signed under President Bill Clinton. It will disregard all of these things. The Commission is going to make up its own decision, its own recommendation based on who knows what, but let's follow what they have to say. Findings of facts. Number 1. At all times relevant hereto, the Honorable Dianne Hensley was Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1, Place 1 in Waco, McLennan County, Texas. Findings of fact number 2. On June 24, 2017, the Waco Tribune newspaper published an article on the website entitled "No Courthouse Weddings in Waco for Same-Sex Couples," 2 years after Supreme Court ruling, which reported that Justice of the Peace Dianne Hensley would only do a wedding between a man and a woman. She would only do opposite-sex marriages. She would not do same-sex marriages. This is the finding of fact number 2. Finding of fact number 3. From August 1st, 2016 to the present, Judge Hensley has performed opposite-sex weddings for couples, but has declined to perform same-sex wedding ceremonies. Findings of fact number 4. Beginning on about August the 1st, 2016, Judge Hensley and her court staff began giving all same-sex couples wishing to be married by Judge Hensley a document which stated, "I'm sorry, but Judge Hensley has a sincerely held religious belief as a Christian and will not be able to perform any same-sex weddings." The document contained a list of local persons who would officiate same-sex weddings. Finding of fact number 5. Judge Hensley told the Waco Tribune, the public, and the Commission that her conscience and religion prohibited her from officiating same-sex weddings. Finding of fact number 6. At her appearance before the Commission, Judge Hensley testified that she would recuse herself from a case in which a party doubted her impartiality on the basis that she publicly refuses to perform same-sex weddings. Now this august body, the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, they have taken all of these findings of facts and now they're going to come up with the relevant standard. And here it comes. Canon 4A1 of the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct states, quote, "A judge shall conduct all of the judge's extrajudicial activities so that they do not cast reasonable doubt on the judge's capacity to act impartially as a judge." This is the relevant standard. So we have the findings of facts, 6 findings of facts. Now we have the relevant standard that this State Commission on Judicial Conduct, this august body, this intellectual body, this body that investigates all judicial misconduct, they have applied the standard Canon 4A1 of the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct, which says that a judge shall conduct all of the judge's extrajudicial activities so that they do not cast reasonable doubt on the judge's capacity to act impartially as a judge. And here is the conclusion conclusion that this august body, the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, we would expect nothing but the best from them. Here it comes, get ready for it. The conclusion, based upon the record before it and the factual findings recited above, the Texas State Commission on Judicial Conduct has determined that the Honorable Judge Dianne Hensley, Justice of the Peace for Precinct 1, Place 1 in Waco, McLennan County, Texas, should be publicly warned for casting doubt on her capacity to act impartially to persons appearing before her as a judge due to the person's sexual orientation in violation of Canon 4A1 of the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct. The Commission has taken this action pursuant to the authority conferred it in Article 5, 1-A of the Texas Constitution in a continuing effort to promote confidence in and high standards for the judiciary. Issued this the 12th day of November 2019, and this is signed by David Hall, the chairman for the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. Now, one thing that I find very interesting is that the State Commission on Judicial Conduct has cited the Texas State Constitution, stating that according to the Texas State Constitution, they have this authority to make this judgment on this judge. And I'm just wondering why the State Commission on Judicial Conduct skipped to Section 5 and skipped over the Bill of Rights contained in Section 1 of the Texas State Constitution. If you go to Article 1 of the Texas State Constitution, which is our Bill of Rights, it has a couple of things. First, in Article 4, it says religious tests. No religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust in this state, nor shall anyone be excluded from holding office on account of his religious beings, provided he acknowledge the existence of a supreme being. And by the way, Article 1, Section 4 seems to say if you're an atheist, sorry, you cannot be a public official. That is exactly what our Texas Constitution says. If you are an atheist, I am sorry, you are disqualified from being a government official. So if you are any atheist in government right now, you should step down if you want to follow the Constitution. Unless you are going to rewrite the Constitution, you should follow the Constitution because you've sworn actually to defend the Constitution. And if you are an atheist and if you are in public office, you need to step down immediately, not in 1 month, not in 1 week, today. You need to step down today. Now, Article 1, Section 6 also says this, the freedom of worship. All men have a natural and indefeasible right to worship Almighty God according to the dictates of their own conscience. It's very interesting that Justice of the Peace, Dianne Hensley, has invoked her religion and also her rights of conscience from performing same-sex marriages. No man shall be compelled to attend, erect, or support any place of worship or maintain any ministry against his consent. No human authority ought, in any case whatever, to control or interfere with the rights of conscience in matters of religion. And no preference shall ever be given by law to any religious society or mode of worship. But it shall be the duty of the legislature. This is the duty of the legislature. The duty of the legislature is to pass such laws as may be necessary to protect equally every religious denomination in the peaceable enjoyment of its own public worship. So here it says that in Article 1, Section 6, that she should have the right, the indefeasible right to worship God according to the dictates of her own conscience. And the interesting thing about the Texas State Constitution is that it actually gives greater guarantees to religious freedom than does the U.S. Constitution. The same Constitution that has given the State Commission on Judicial Conduct the ability to make such a judgment as it did. It is invoking the Constitution for its power, but it's not looking to the Constitution for what it should be upholding. Because Article 1, Section 32 of the Texas State Constitution says this, marriage, A, marriage in this state shall consist only of the union of one man and one woman. It doesn't say anything about same-sex marriage, It says marriage in this state shall consist only of the union of one man and one woman. Now, these people who are on the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, I'm just wondering why they ignored Article 1, Section 32A, stating that marriage shall consist only of one man and one woman in the state of Texas. Article 1, Section 2B says this state or a political subdivision of this state may not create or recognize any legal status identical or similar to marriage. So according to our state constitution, it says specifically that Judge Dianne Hensley has the right not to violate her religious obligations nor to violate her conscience. Furthermore, it states, and again, this is for the State Commission on Judicial Conduct, who obviously has selectively picked certain areas of the Constitution that it wishes to invoke and skipped over other areas in its entirety. Marriage in this state shall consist only of the union of one man and one woman. Marriage in this state shall consist only of the union of one man and one woman, not two men, not two women. So here is this body, the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. And remember, when we have a complaint against the judge, we're supposed to trust these people that they will investigate the matter thoroughly. They will look into the judge's deeds and decide whether he or she has committed any type of acts that violate the judicial code. They invoke the Constitution, but they ignore the Constitution as convenient. It is a shame that the State Commission on Judicial Conduct has now become a proponent of the LGBTQ, liberal, left-wing, progressivist, sexual agenda. That is exactly what it is. This was a political fight that the State Commission on Judicial Conduct has taken a side against a judge who was doing her duty to uphold the state constitution. The State Commission on Judicial Conduct is telling this judge, sorry judge, you cannot perform your constitutional duties because we, this appointed, not elected, this appointed body has decided that we want to disregard the Constitution. This is a big deal, in my opinion. I know that Judge Dianne Hensley has hired a legal team to defend her. She should sue the state. She should sue this commission. In fact, I would ask that every member of this commission, starting from the chairperson, David Hall, should resign immediately. I would ask that Governor Greg Abbott actually force the resignation. I would ask that the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, give an opinion regarding this issue, regarding religious freedom, and the fact that our Texas state constitution says that marriage consists only of the union of one man and one woman, and that judges have a right to defend this. Furthermore, when Judge Dianne Hensley chose not to support same-sex marriage, she did so in a manner that was consistent with the state guidelines. She provided other resources, other people that would do so. This whole commission needs to step down right now. I stand completely with Dianne Hensley and her legal team. I hope she sues and I hope she wins big. This is a matter of religious liberty. It's a matter of upholding our Texas state constitution. This is a fundamental right that we have as people of Texas, and this is the fundamental right that we need to uphold. This is a constitutional issue. We cannot allow this to take place. If we break the Constitution at will, whenever we want to, we actually have no Constitution to protect us in the state of Texas. Thank you.